What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And in this video, we're going over a few stocks that I am buying right now. I see a lot of upside potential for these in the coming months. Going to have some patience required for these though. And we're going to go over the technical analysis, some recent news, and just overall why I am bullish on these two companies. So before we get into it, if you don't mind dropping a like and hitting subscribe, it really helps out the channel. Check out the Patreon, Discord, and free stock links in the description. And let's get into it. All right, so first up is Airbnb, currently sitting around 150.70. However, we did see this one touch 132.50 during the May sell-off, and the last couple of months it's really taken a hit. But I do think that there is a lot of upside. This company has an extremely bright future and a very powerful brand name. Now, we saw them sell off due to the overall market selling off with growth stocks. They also reported earnings, which wasn't received too well by the market, as well as the lockup period ending in May. So I see Airbnb bouncing back, but in order to bounce back, to those higher price targets, 170, 180 plus, that's going to require some patience. However, getting back into the 150s, say 155 or 160, I could see happening very soon here. There's a lot of call option flow coming in for Airbnb, and the technical analysis looks ready to go. Now, starting with the positives and negatives for Airbnb, and why I'm so long on this company and see a lot of upside. They're a global, young, and growing business with lots of potential ahead. They have high gross margins and operating leverage. Their working capital is well managed. They are a positive cash flow business. It has strong network effects. They have an amazing CEO and a large TAM / easily scalable business. They have flexible overhead costs. As we know, Airbnb is pretty much a middleman. And Chesky says Airbnb could replace landlords in the future. As we know, people live in Airbnbs for months on end as they're moving around or traveling for work. And COVID showed Airbnb that they could cut marketing to essentially zero and still win. So during the pandemic, they did cut marketing, and their website and app traffic remained at 95%, showing a lot of brand loyalty, which, as I mentioned, Airbnb is a very strong brand name, similar to Uber and Google. So that's a very positive thing. COVID obviously hurt their numbers drastically, but that's what I took away from it. Now getting into the risks and negatives of investing in Airbnb. The number one risk is that they are not a profitable business yet, and that is something that needs to be known. Number two, short-term rental regulations. Many governments are regulating the short-term rental market because it is supposedly increasing property and rental prices. Now I know I've heard people say that when they try to do an Airbnb, there's certain regulations that they have to follow that sometimes make them have to, get permits and redo their entire house that they're trying to rent out just to abide by these regulations. So that can be a tough thing. Data privacy regulations. So data privacy is at the center of many government regulations and will ultimately affect any company that needs user data to customize products and offerings. Then they have their competition, such as Booking Holdings, Expedia, and Trip.com. I don't think those brand names are as powerful as Airbnb, but they are definitely out there and they're competition. Their operating cash flow turned negative in 2020 because of COVID. Their price to sales ratio is 24.46, which is very high. And usually between 1 and 2 is good. So they are at a rich valuation, but that's how a lot of these growth companies are. So that's just something that needs to be known. So here's some 2021 Airbnb statistics. According to their new data analysis, 2.9 million hosts on Airbnb worldwide in 2021. And as travel picks up, we know, everything's opening back up. People are booking more. They're going to need more hosts. So that is positive for the company, as well as 14,000 new hosts are joining the platform each month in 2021. There are over 7 million listings on Airbnb worldwide. There are 100,000 cities with active Airbnb listings, and there are 220 countries and regions with active Airbnb listings in 2021. So as we know, everything's opening back up. And I saw this article on Reuters just talking about how everyone is hitting the road, this past Memorial Day. And basically, the pandemic is just about over. Everyone's getting vaccinated. The mask mandates are ending in many places, and I believe California ends on June 15th, so we'll see about that. Now getting into the short-term technical analysis. So I posted this in the Discord and the Patreon before it started recovering on Friday. This was originally oversold, and as you can see, I made a note here saying I can see it bouncing back to 150 and then into the 155, 160 range. So it is still crossing up. Friday was a very good day. Airbnb actually touched, I believe, 152 before ending the day at 150. So this week I'm looking for 155, possibly 160, and that is going to be my first stop for Airbnb. But I am looking to get some long calls to eventually play this all the way back to around 180. So that's it for Airbnb. Definitely on watch this week. I am long-term shares, but I am also swinging shares in another account, and I'm playing call options on Airbnb. So that's what I got going right now. Next up is SQ or Square, and this one has sold off quite a bit, and I believe that has to do with just growth stock sell-off / crypto sell-off. We know they're heavily invested in that. So, their stock price has taken a bit of a hit, but I think this is more viewed as a sale in my opinion. I really do like buying this one in the lower 200s, and if it can go under 200, then I'm loading up heavily. I see a bright future ahead for this company, and I think they have a lot of growth plans coming their way. So some recent positive news that came out on May 24th, a little while back, that caused the stock to boost up 5%, was that they're going to be offering checking and savings accounts, and Bloomberg believes Square will offer 0.5% interest rates on the savings accounts through 2021. Some other things that I do like about Square is not only is this a reopening play, and they are going to be getting more traffic on their POS devices, especially in those mom and pop shops, but they're building an infrastructure to be the financial institution of a tech-driven world. They also have their Cash App, which is huge. A lot of people invest on their Cash App, whether it's in stocks or crypto. And then some prefer to use the Cash App to pay their friends over Venmo. So it's just a great part of Square. They also have an awesome array of POS devices, and they're using that as a website building platform. So it's huge in the small business world. It's amazing for data collection. And Square will also be looking to obtain that bank charter license very soon. We know everything's moving towards digital payments in the future, and I believe that Square's CEO Jack Dorsey is doing everything in his power to continue to grow the company. Some more reasons that Square is down currently is because they did a $2 billion debt offering to raise some more cash. I believe they're taking advantage of that low interest rate, 2.75%, and Dorsey said we can use this for general corporate purposes, a very cookie cutter answer. Maybe he just doesn't want to reveal what they're planning on doing with that cash, but they did have $4.3 billion of unrestricted cash before the offering. So now they're sitting on over $6 billion of cash, which is awesome for, potential opportunities for them to invest in. And then a couple days later, Dorsey goes on to say that Square is going to invest $5 million in Blockstream Bitcoin mining facility, and I'll link this below. But basically, Square, a crypto-friendly mobile payments company, is planning to invest $5 million in a solar-powered Bitcoin mining facility for Blockstream mining, and that is offering further insight into Jack Dorsey's continued support for the blockchain infrastructure, which is pretty cool. And then he also mentioned that Square is considering making a hardware wallet for Bitcoin. A lot coming their way. So here's the update with SQ. We have heavy support at $190 as well as $200. It's in this wedge, so we're just seeing, is it going to break back up, heading towards 220, or do we break back down towards 200 and possibly even 190, which given the current market, tech looks pretty bullish, things look really good, so I don't think we're going to break down, which is why, I'm considering just loading here, but definitely see how it comes Monday, crossing up, still oversold. So this is what I have for Square right now. We have seen it, come down to that 200 range quite a bit recently, but definitely long term on this one. I haven't added any options for this yet, but if we can see 215 and get that breakout, then I might take an option and just try to play something short term. But we'll definitely see how it goes. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just two stocks that I am loading long term, see a lot of growth potential in, and I believe that they're at a decent price to buy. Keep in mind, we do have CPI data coming out and FOMC coming up, so just be careful. A lot of events coming. We are approaching all-time highs on SPY. QQQ is looking pretty good. Just keep cash on hand. Don't ever go all in at once, and manage risk accordingly. Hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you when the market opens. Have a good one.